this small $140 APS-C lens took these amazing pictures. Wow! Oh, welcome back. Somebody suggested I try the, what is this thing here? The SG Image 25mm 1.8 autofocus APS-C lens. So I got one. Here it is. You can get it for Canon, Sony, Fuji, Nikon, any APS-C camera. It's got a nice color band around it. It's kind of heavy feeling. It feels really heavy, but it's small. It's compact. So that's really cool. So we're going to compare this today. We're going to take some test shots with Kara. And this, for APS-C, this is a really good size lens. Well, what does it compare to? Well, this is a 25 1.8. 1.8 being the key thing there because you get a nice blurry background with 1.8, even in APS-C. The only thing that's kind of close to it out there is the Sigma 23 1.4. And look how much bigger that is. That's a lot bigger. It's a lot heavier. By the way, this lens here it's only $140. It's 140 grams, which is a lot lighter than it feels. It feels pretty heavy. It's actually heavier than the camera, but it's only 140 grams, $140. The Sigma 23 1.4 is $550. It's twice as long and twice as heavy. There's the pancake lens, the Sony pancake 20mm. It's smaller and lighter, but it's a 2.8, so you don't get the nice blurry backgrounds like you do with this one. And this is more expensive. The 20mm is $380. It's only 65 grams, and there is a Viltrox 25 1.7. This is probably the closest thing to this. And this is a good price too. It's only $176. It's twice as big. It's actually lighter than this thing is, and it's only $170. This is 140. This is 170. I really like the Viltrox 1.7. I can't use it today for comparison because this is Fuji and this is Sony. But trust me, this is a really good lens and it's really affordable. We got a 15mm Sony G 1.4. Great lens, but it's almost $900. And look how much bigger it is. It's a lot bigger. It's heavier. It's a lot more expensive. $900 versus $140. But we'll compare that too. The other thing out there that's kind of similar is in that focal range is the 16 to 50, which is what I'm shooting with right now. I'm shooting with another 5100, just like this. That's what I love, my 5100s. And I'm using this lens right here. It's a kit lens. It's the 16 to 50, 3.5 to 5.6. No blurry backgrounds with this. It's about the same size. It's more lightweight, but twice the price of this thing. Blurry backgrounds, half the price. No blurry backgrounds, twice the price. But it's the zoom. So, anyway, that's what I'm filming with right now. It's a pretty sharp lens. So we'll compare. Let's do some test shots comparing these lenses with this one. What do you think? Let's go. All right. I'm going to use a Sony 6300 because it has a hot shoe so I can use a flash. I'm going to use a little Godox 8100 flash with one of these cheap little round pop-open 17-inch diffusers I got from China. All right, let's start right away with the SG Image 25 1.8. Let's see what it looks like. I gotta say right out of the gate, I wasn't expecting much, but wow, I was shocked. Look at this. Look how nice and clean the foreground is and how nice and blurry the background. 25 is kind of a wide angle lens and I didn't expect to get that much of a background blur from a 25, but wow, I am impressed. It's vignetting a bit and it's a little softer around the edges, but I like that. It puts more emphasis on the foreground. I don't know why people hate vignetting or soft edges because, you want to focus on the foreground. I like this. This is a really cool look. It's very artsy. I love it. It has a nice 3D look to it. All right, let's compare this with a Sigma 23 1.4. All right, here's the $550 Sigma 23 1.4. It's twice as big, twice as heavy, and 3 times as expensive. And here's the SG Image, $140, 140 grams. I don't really see much of a difference. I think the SG looks just as good. And the Sigma is much bigger, much heavier, much more expensive, but both look really good. Here's the Sigma, really, the Sigma is awesome. It's a great lens. Look at this. Look how great these Sigma pictures look. Really nice. I love it. But here's the SG Image. Look at this. This looks just as good. Wow. All right, let's see what the little tiny pancake 20mm 2.8 looks like. I think it looks great too. It's just the background's not as blurry. It's a nice little compact lens if you want something super, super small and lightweight, but it's $380, which is more than double the price of the SG Image. And you don't get as much of a blurry background with the 20mm, but it is the smallest, most lightweight of the whole bunch. All right, let's switch to the kit lens, the 16 to 50. Now, obviously you're not going to get much of a blurry background here. When you set it to around 23, 25mm, it's f4, so you're not going to get that much of a blurry background. but it's nice and sharp. And the fact that it's a zoom lens means you can go from 16mm wide to 50mm portrait in one lens. That's not very big. It's a really handy lens to have. It is $350, but it's nice and sharp and it's a very versatile lens. I like the quality of the pictures. All right, let's go to the 15mm 1.4G lens. Now this is a really wide angle lens and you can't really get too close with it or you'll really start distorting people's faces and stuff. This is actually the same distance as the other lenses, but look how much further away you look because it's a wider lens. It is a nice sharp lens. Well, it better be. It's almost $900. You're not going to get as blurry of a background because it's a wide angle lens. $900, not so blurry background. I don't know. I still like the new SG Image 25 much more. So let's go back to the SG. Let's get some more pictures with that. Wow. Nice and crisp and sharp. Look at that separation. Wow. For a tiny little lens to get nice separation with blurry background like this. Wow. Look at that. Oh, wow. Look at this one. That is cool. Look at that. It just pops. Wow. Yeah, these are really a 3D effect on this thing. I'm impressed. I'm shocked. I'm shocked that I didn't expect much from this lens, but wow, I am really shocked. I'm going to keep this one. All right, let's compare this with the Sigma 23 again. So here's the Sigma 23, also a really great lens. Totally comparable with the SG Image, but the Sigma is twice as big, twice as heavy, and 3 times as expensive. Let's do the kit lens again, 16 to 50. Great, I love the look of this thing. It looks great. You're just not going to get as much of a blurry background. Let's do the tiny little 20mm pancake, 2.8. Really nice. I mean, this is another great option if you want really lightweight, small, tiny little APS-C lens. Again, you're not going to get as blurry of a background, but for a tiny little street lens, I love it. All right, let's do some low light stuff. Let's go out on the town tonight and go out and take this camera with us. So here we go. Okay, so the light's going down. It's not as bright, but it is a 1.8 lens, so it's great for low light stuff. Look at this. Look how nice this looks. Really nice. Wow. You can get nice sharp stuff with this. Nice, nice. Let's go inside. This is pretty low light here. Looks pretty good. Okay. Well, there you go. This is a great lens to have. It's small, it's compact. You get nice blurry background. It does have a little bit of vignetting, a little bit of blurring, soft edges and stuff. But I like that. It actually adds the artistic 3D effect a little bit that I like so much. So as an artist, I like the look. I am not into perfect corner to corner, edge to edge. Everything has to be absolutely perfect. You know, sometimes just being artsy is fun. And if you got APS-C, you're probably more into not being so uptight about stuff. So there you go. Anyway, great lens, 140 bucks, 140 grams, SG Image. Never heard of that brand before. 25 1.8. There you go. Kind of cool. Thanks for the suggestion. Keep them coming. See you in the next video. Until then, bye.